Hi there, this is Donna Kozik, founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com, creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program. And I'm doing an abbreviated Editpalooza for the Community Book Project. And this is our Love Edition. And I have to give a lot of credit to the contributors. They've been paying attention, and there are a lot of things that I normally talk about during a full Editpalooza that I don't even have to address because most people submitted pieces that were ready to go. So I just got a few things and also a couple of writing things that I thought I'd go over in this video. And let's see here. Here, just percent, we always spell it out instead of the percent sign. In general, if a number is between 0 and 9, you spell it out. And if it's 10 or above, you put it in numeric form. So that's what I use. And again, these entries looked really good. In fact, I accepted all the entries that were submitted for this edition of the Community Book Project. So that is fantastic. See here, a lot of these I had read, and they were part of our early bird submission process. So I had talked about them or read them before or during our writing party. So a lot of these here in the beginning looked really good. I then, for the first time ever, I hired someone from Upwork to go through and do this basic Word format, bringing it from the SurveyMonkey to Word. And you might think, well, that was no big deal, but let me tell you, it's kind of a deal. It took me a while to do that. For the last edition, I did it myself, or I had some help from my designer. But this time I hired somebody, and that really saved me some time and energy. I was telling her I don't mind doing it, but it really is not the best use of my time. What I just did right there was I made the quote marks, what we call sixes and nines. There's probably a more technical term, instead of the little hash marks. When you do an ellipse, that's these three dots, dot, dot, dot. There's no spaces in between them, just so you know. Generally, the ellipse means that words are missing, and that's why I came back to look at this. Start to laugh a lot. Yeah, really, in this case, even when you mean a pause or something, or a change in the kind of the rhythm of your writing, an M dash works better. So that's what we'll put there. I've been taking off any, like the attributions, we just need the name. Just to make everything consistent. A lot of different subjects in this book, which I was pleased about. So we make it one form of punctuation at the end of things. More doesn't mean more excitedly. I think we don't need this here either. Charlisa likes her M dashes. Oh gosh. And her exclamation points. It's funny how, again, really. Okay. All right. Let me just fix these real quick. I don't think the is capitalized before Bahamas. All right, I know there was a couple that I wanted to just point some things out about. So it was funny. I got two entries that are almost in a row, and quoting Lucille Ball or talking about. I think this one talks about Lucy, and then there was another one, and there Lucy's quoted. Kind of funny. She was actually born not too far from where I grew up. It was across the state line. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I think she was born in New York State, not too far from me. So was Ann B. Davis. What is Ann B. Davis known for? What is her role that she is known for? Do you know? Answer at the end of this video. If I remember. If I don't, somebody will tell me. See, here's where like there's words must be missing here. So that's an appropriate use of the ellipse. What we'll be doing after this, we're going to have Proof-A-Palooza this week, and then formatting will take place, and then we'll have on the book will be uploaded to Amazon. Eventually, a PDF version will be available as always. For those people that don't want to read it online, I guess, because even on a Kindle version, you can read things online, but you would a PDF anyway. But in any case, that eventually that'll be made, but we're gonna put the focus on the Kindle version right now. And after it is uploaded, I'm going to ask the contributing authors to go and leave a review of the book so we can get some momentum going prior to our promotion week, which will be the week of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on a Thursday, so it'll be that Monday and onward. This was just one I wanted to point out. This is actually a really good piece. Asha kind of like in Facebook, she's like, I wonder what you'll think of it. And I'm like, oh boy, we'll see. And so she's kind of writing this like argument, I guess, about love and, is it this or is it that? And then what she does at the end is what we call a cop out, where she put, and again, and maybe everything I said is hogwash. And I deleted that. It's so much stronger without that kind of cop out line. It's kind of a harsh way of putting it, but what it does, and a lot of writers do this, especially women writers, I have to say, where they'll take a stand on something and then they'll say, but maybe you think differently or something like that. And you don't want to do that because it takes away you being a leader to the reader. So I deleted that. And I think the piece just is better because of it too. All right, there was a couple more. Hope you're not getting dizzy. You can look away from the screen for a moment if you like, and then when I start talking, look back to the screen. Yeah, here is one quote from the Beatles from Bill. Somebody else talked about a Beatles quote too. I'll have to look. I don't think the same quote was used, but I'm not sure. Bill's just an amazing, oh my gosh, he has an amazing story. Look for him in our Facebook group, Bill McCarthy, just incredible. Or go to the Unity Foundation, the unityfoundation.org. Incredible stories to tell. All right, so it was after this, I think, that it was past early bird. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, biomat. We don't put like copyright things like that in books. That would actually probably be a registered trademark. And what I generally do is in the front of the book say something like all registered trademarks belong with their owners. And that takes care of things because it is just so bumpy to, read that um, in a book. Melissa posted a photo of her Siamese cats, or her Siamese cat in the Business Authors Association. I said, hold me back, because I could do a whole community book project about cats. Having two of my own, two in a long line, but not in the works right now. You'll see it's interesting how some people do a lot of breaks between paragraphs, and some people write one or two big paragraphs. Just from my training in the newspaper, I tend to over paragraph things. I probably could use a few more meatier paragraphs, but that's just the way I was trained. And then in marketing too, you're taught to do shorter paragraphs to keep the eyes kind of moving and not tired through copy, what we call it when we're doing marketing. So there's no right or wrong. There's Robbins that she read on during one of our writing parties. Oh, I see some M dashes there. I'm not going to fix them right now, though. I'll go back later or get another proofread done. Or when we do proofreading, well, I'll make sure we catch that. Putting spaces. Oh, this was such a huge help. I put in the survey, I told you how to format your quote. I can't tell you how much time that saved. So thank you so much. It was a great little story from Norma. I love it, about singing. Carrie talking about her grandmother and the chicken soup that she would make reminded me of my story of my judge, my grandfather, and yeah, his soups and everything like that. So that one from Carrie, that's going to touch a lot of people. So Sharon, poetry and prose. Oh yeah, so I just wanted to highlight this because she really did do this. I don't allow poetry in the community book project, but really there's so much vivid imagery and things in this piece that I really call it poetry and prose. So let me just read some of this here. I believe love is more than its definition. I believe it feeds our souls. I love my parents who adopted me at 6 weeks old. They loved me so much. They nurtured me to become a compassionate and caring individual with love to share. I thought I loved my husband. It was simply a fascination. It just didn't work. But I have a beautiful son whom I love to the moon and back. I love my friends who supported me in good times and bad times, in good and bad times all through the years. Now in my older years, I have 3 grandchildren who I love to a degree of pain. This is the poetry part. Seeing the world through their eyes is exciting. I love watching their eyes light up in excitement and joy on Christmas morning. Winter is another wonderful time for them. I love hearing their laughter when building a snowman and giggling with delight at the snow angels they have made. Then in the summer, there are squills of delight running into waves or jumping into the pool. There are so many other moments to cherish as well. I could go on and on as love makes the world go round and round. I love that ending. Really nice. Let's see. Instead, and this is fine. Susie couldn't put italics in the Survey Monkey, so she capitalized both. I just turned it into, she capitalized all the letters. I just turned it into italics there for her. This is another really good piece. You guys are so creative. This is a show. So Judy Reed was on a couple of the writing parties, and we were working on, well, not like fine tuning this along the way. And here's one of those things that like Judy read, but it doesn't really come across until you see it in print, which is why I love writing. And he's talking about different things. And she goes, pets provide a positive way to cope. People present more challenges. And just the way she has one of these on each line, it just works really well to get that extra degree of oomph in there, that little bit of like, yeah, pets are one thing, people are another. So I really like that. Then this one, let's see here. What was I going to say about this? I might have a question about it. There's a lot of capitalization in here. See, even here, like if I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to go back and revisit this, but like not whether or not it gets in here, but yeah, the capitalization is a little crazy. And you can even see it's like if you run across this, you're like, and no offense to Francis, maybe a child at heart, but is it like, did a kid write this or something? Because that's generally what we think of when we see all this capitalization. I kind of like having this hashtag in here though. That's nice. Anyway, I'm gonna come back and revisit that later. Mike Myers, this was funny. He's like, does it have to be 200 words? Could it be less? And yeah, his here is probably about 100, maybe 125. So yeah, it does not have to be 200 words. Oh, here's a good one too about Gwen and her journal. Okay, let me see. I want to help you. Oh, here's another. Here's a place where I took out part of the quote because just like I was talking about a um, a sentence that lessened the oomph, the same thing happened here. So he has this quote from Ellen about challenges and obstacles making us unique, and then she must have had in her quote, and that's what I know for sure. I think. And that's Ellen being Ellen, like kind of like trying to be Oprah, but then putting that little funny line in there, but it dilutes the quote and the impact of the quote. So I took that out. I love this first paragraph from Nikki Brown. I gotta read this. People are funny. A stranger on the street may be grumpy and self absorbed until she sees my dog. Then she exclaims, "Oh, my dog is exactly like yours." Then she happily chats away about her beloved little girl, a 4-pound hairless chihuahua. I smile and nod as I stand beside my 65-pound male black lab. So funny. Great imagery and stuff here too. I like this. It's like a slice of real life too. It's something I tell a lot of my clients. I'm like, show it in real life, like what things are like. And Nikki did a good job of that right here in her opening paragraph. Dixie wrote, I think she's new to the Community Book Project, wrote a really nice piece here about her father. And this is more kind of poetry and prose. I love how he was ill. Then she has a sentence, when he was well enough to get out of the hospital bed that had been set up in the living room to keep him in the center of our family, which is just quite an image right there. He sat in his rocker on the front porch and talked with anyone who stopped or passed by, giving out homespun advice. Oh my gosh, I love that phrase about giving out homespun advice. I'm tearing up. So good, Dixie. when I originally got this piece from Sergey, uh, I thought there was a word missing here. Maybe you guys can tell me what you think. Okay, it's short, so let me just read it. When I was a little boy, each time I saw a cute living thing, I tried to catch it and take home. I try to catch it, and Sergey's told me that English is not his first language, and take it home. I already know he has plenty of words to work with. Years pass, and I'm still the same, but I cannot afford it now because once I took one home, and she does not let me do it with the others. And I'm just wondering if the word now needs to be put in here. So let me read it the right way. Let's see. Years passed, and I'm still the same, but I cannot afford it now because once I took one home, and she does not let me do it with the others. Because once I took one home, like I like the kind of the flavor of this whole thing. I'm not complaining. No, other men may complain. It has its own type of poetry to it in prose. And I don't want to add words just to add words. And even if it's understandable without me putting my DK stamp kind of on this, it's like, oh, add this word or add that word. I don't want to do it. I'm not sure. So you guys, I'm asking your opinion. Let me know. But I don't want a whole bunch of rewrites. It's like, is a word missing? Or should like this word now be put somewhere else or something like that, okay? Let me know what you think. All right, Holly's missing a few things here. That's why that's highlighted. Almost done. Let's see. Yeah, again, really clean. I had never heard of this meta with two T's. I looked at that up, Patrice. That was interesting. Oh, Lori. Lori has the winner as far as creativity goes. Lori Winslow and her piece about her husband snoring and how that is the rumble of love. It is great. So good. One thing I just want to point out from a writing standpoint. So in the middle here, rumble, tingle, wait, rumble, tingle, oh, the anticipation, the tickle of his breath on each individual soft hair on the back of she had oh so sensitive neck, but that took away from the oh, the anticipation. So I just put the back of my sensitive neck. We really don't even need the word sensitive in there, but I'll leave it. Rumble, tingle, oh, I must be crazy. Yeah, you don't want to get too many O's in there. Crazy in love. So good. All right. Yeah, here I had some, this is pretty good. Oh, in the bio, willy-nilly capitalization, just fixed that up. But everybody was pretty good about that this time around too. This one was rough, I gotta say, from Susan Walkley, who she's talking about her dog, and then she accidentally runs over her dog and kills it. And then she has a visualization about the dog. But boy, I looked at this sentence for a long time. It was something like it went. She wrote first, I imagined me being her. I cried. I felt her because their dog was barking a lot. And then the dog said that she wants people to notice her. I felt her overwhelming sorrow. She felt that I was the only person who loved her. And then Susan had something like, I was mortified when I accidentally ran over and killed my sweet dog. Like, it's just kind of a punch in the gut when you're reading about this. And although I appreciate, Susan wanting to tell the truth here and everything, boy, I don't know if I would do it in quite that. I don't know if I'd make this kind of confession. I'm wondering now as I look at this, if that's what's bothering me, if it's just like, you have this piece about the dog, that's like a whole other story in a way. Not that I want Susan to tell it, but it just distracts, I think, from the story of Pickle. I'm not sure, but right now what I did is I try to like lead the reader into it a little bit by saying, she's talking about how much she loves this dog. Then given this, you can understand how mortified I was when I accidentally ran over and killed my sweet dog. Oh God. Yeah, I think that works. Not asking any opinions on this one, unless you're Susan and you want to say something more about that. But yeah, boy. But I don't know. So anyway, I think it works the way I fixed it. But something else you want to just think about when you're doing writing too. You don't want to sucker punch your readers in the gut. I think those are about all of my comments on ones. In this abbreviated version of Editpalooza. These are just the people who got it in by the first official deadline. So I'm still working on the additions. They just came in today, the day that I'm recording this, but they're on their way. I looked them over. They all look pretty good. So it's just a matter now of getting them formatted. All right. Thank you so much for taking part. If you have any ideas about Sergey and his piece, I'd love to hear them. Until then, this is Donna Kozik. I'm the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com, creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program, and also creator and lead editor for the Community Book Project. We've been doing an abbreviated Editpalooza for the Love edition of the Community Book Project. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. We'll see you in the bookstore.